Israeli officials say the Rafah crossing is now open to limited pedestrian traffic. The passage between Gaza and Egypt has been mostly closed to Palestinians since October 7, 2023. Now its reopening is the first step in the second phase of President Trump's Gaza peace plan. The Israeli military says it'll approve the Palestinians entering or leaving Gaza according to the terms of the plan, but it's not clear how many will be allowed to pass. And now the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry says it's already submitted a list of 50 patients to leave the Strip through that crossing. ABC News Chief Foreign Correspondent Ian Pannell is here with more on that. Hi, Ian. How significant is this reopening, and how's it going so far?
It's of limited significance, I think, at the moment. If it was unfettered access in and out, then it would be far more significant, because you have huge numbers of patients urgently needing medical treatment. The Egyptians say they've got a number of hospitals and ambulances on standby, but we believe that the figures are being controlled at the moment. That's what the Israelis have told us. We also believe that something in the region of only 150 to 200 each day. As you say, today that's 50 patients plus one or two relatives will be allowed to leave. So that would add up to 150. The process is ongoing at the moment. So that's a very limited number. And also we understand that only 50 people were allowed into Rafah. So at the moment we think that's people who were allowed out for medical treatment and are now returning home. But of course, there are many people who fled, especially people with dual nationalities who are desperate to get back into Gaza, and the many people, especially those who only have Palestinian citizenship, who've basically been unable to leave since October the 7th, 2023. So that's significantly over 2 years. So I think it's an important start of the second phase of President Trump's peace plan, but it is only a start. We're waiting for this technocratic government to come into place inside Gaza and Hamas to hand over power to them and then begin the process of decommissioning themselves. So it's yet to see whether or not that actually happens. And then, of course, the much-needed construction. So there's still a huge amount to do there. And meanwhile, even though this ceasefire has been in place for a long time, the killings go on.
And an Israeli strike killed at least 31 Palestinians over the weekend. The Gaza Health Ministry says Israel's killed at least 509 Palestinians since the start of the ceasefire. What are both sides saying right now, and where does the ceasefire stand?
Yeah, I mean, technically in place, but I think if you spoke to anyone inside Gaza, they would answer the question, when is a ceasefire not a ceasefire? Well, when people are being killed, civilians in some cases, and Israel is saying it is targeting Hamas figures. It's also those people who infringe upon this so-called yellow line, in other words, where Israeli forces are still in control inside Gaza. They're saying people who cross that line are being killed. Now, the Palestinians will say it's not very clear. Often it is civilians who are not sure where that line is, and as they're being crossed, they're not being arrested or anything. The guns are opening fire. But yes, you're right. I mean, the Hamas-run health ministry saying more than 500 people have been killed, including a significant number of children and civilians since that ceasefire came into place. Life has barely improved for people. There is more aid getting in there now. But as we were just saying, people are still very restricted. There's a limited area they can live in. There are limited resources, limited healthcare, limited food, and the attacks are still going on.
All right, Ian Pannell, thank you.